There are so many things to talk about when we talk about the outdoors. The outdoors, you could hunt, you could play sports, you could do many other things. The thing I like most about the outdoors is fishing. My sport is fishing. My fun is fishing. Fishing is fun. Why? Because you could do it year round. Unlike hunting where you have seasons and you have so many rules that you have to play with. And my favorite part about fishing is that there's no season. You can fish whenever you want, 365 days out of the week, or 365 days out of the year. Whether it's cold, whether it's hot, raining, or sunshine, you can do fishing whenever you want. So, why do I prefer fishing? Well, I think one of the funnest parts about fishing is actually hunting for ponds, looking for lakes, or looking for that secret spot that nobody knows and only you know, and you get amazing fish. My favorite part is walking through houses and looking behind their yards. Of course, everything doing it, asking for permission and doing it within rules, and just looking for that certain spot where nobody knows about, nobody's ever fished it, so the fish are new to all the equipment you're using. They're not used to equipment, they're used to real world stuff like worms, shads, which I could get into later, but you bring in new equipment and the fish are not as smart or not as used to knowing what that equipment could do. So, what's fun about fishing? Looking for that correct pond. Also, when you go out there, you set up and you start fishing, it might take a little while before you get a fish or before something starts nibbling at your line. So once you get that straight pull on your line, you'll be out there, you feel your line going out, and you're like, do I have a fish or what's going on? Your adrenaline starts pumping. That's one of my other favorite parts about fishing. I'll be out there and my adrenaline starts pumping. And as soon as I feel that tug and I pull back, that adrenaline starts pumping. You start reeling in, you have a fish. Everybody's like, oh my God, I have a fish, I have a fish. You scream to your buddy, hey, I got a fish. Everybody comes together, see how big the fish is or see what kind of fish is. And you just reel it in. And as you get it out and you see that it could be a 5-pounder, 6-pounder, heck, it could even be a 2-pounder. You still have a fish. So your adrenaline is pumping, you feel happy, you get the emotion of, oh my God, I just got a fish. I have never gotten a fish. And even if you have gotten a fish, every time you catch a fish, it's adrenaline. It never gets old. You love just catching fish, and you just become addicted to it. And the feeling of catching a big fish is so amazing that your adrenaline just pumps a lot more. I remember one time I was out in one of these ponds. Of course, I don't like to say because some of them are my secret spots. And I was out there and I felt a little jerk on my line, so I pull back, reel it in, and it didn't feel like much. And as I start bringing it in, it starts getting a lot shallower. I see a big splash and I was like, what is this? So I get adrenaline, it starts pumping. I'm rushing, trying to see what it is. I get it out, and it was a 7-pound fish. I wish I could have it here with me to show you guys, but of course, I'm more of the type of catching the fish, taking a picture, and releasing it back so someone else could fish it, or maybe next time that I come back, I could fish it. But I just remember my first 7-pound fish, how big and fat it was, and I was just amazed. Of course, my buddies were like, hey, take it home, put it up on your wall, but I'm more of the type of, I caught a 7-pounder, my heart's pumping right now, my adrenaline's pumping, I don't know what to do, take me a picture, I just want to keep it forever, but you got to release it back, have others come back and fish and have fun. It's all about having fun when you fish. You don't do it because you want to. You do it for fun. Everybody wants to, but the number one thing to do it for is for fun. You go out there and you have fun. Now, there are some times that, you go out there and maybe you're fishing for catfish. Catfish, if everybody, there's a lot of people that know you go to a restaurant and on their seafood menu, they have catfish, And catfish is really delicious. It's great. I love it when you do it fried catfish. But anyways, catfish, you go out there, you fish it, and you use a certain type of bait and a certain way to catch catfish. It's not like there's many other ways to catch fish. You could throw and reel it back in, throw and reel it back in. But catfish, you usually just throw, let the bait sit for a while, and hopefully that catfish will bite. And when you get that catfish, bring it in. Catfish is pretty strong. They grow up to be pretty heavy. Not too long ago, we caught a 16-pounder. And I remember reeling it in. Big old catfish. And my heart was pumping. I was like, oh my God. Catfish, I do usually bring it in. I love catfish. And there's so many out there that it's okay to eat those, There's so many. There's way more than bass, of course, that you bring it in. We brought in about 6 of them last time. You go out, cut it, fillet it, cut it into pieces, get your recipe, bread it up, you fry it, and when you take that first bite of catfish, fresh catfish, it's amazing. It's just fun. Go out there, fish for your catfish, bring it back in, eat it. Voila, you have a fun, awesome day. Now, fishing, like I said, it is fun. The number one thing to do it for is for fun. No matter how old you are, you're going to have fun. But I do want to talk about fishing and doing it with young kids and the teens or even younger who are out there. And nowadays, there's a lot of time for them to slack off school and start going into a bad choice of drugs. A lot of kids nowadays, they tend to go the wrong path, hang out with the wrong crew, start doing all types of drugs. Especially here in Oklahoma, there's a real high expectation of kids doing drugs. So the way fishing and drugs comes in together is that, first of all, it takes a lot of time. Fishing takes a lot of time. You go out there in the morning, by the time you have everything set up, by the time you're casting, by the time you're reeling in, or depending on how long it takes for the fish to bite, hours just pass by and pass by and pass by. And at the end of the day, you don't even notice, and by the time you notice, the sun is going down. So sometimes it takes the whole day. And the way this ties into drugs is you could have a group of kids, and they're going the wrong way. So say I go out there and I say, hey guys, you want to go out fishing, Well, I don't do that kind of stuff. I said, just come on, let's go try it, Anybody could go out and, hey, come on, let's go try it. So you take the kids, You're already taking them away from that wrong path that they're taking, and you're trying to take them through the straight path. They go out there, it's like, okay, I'll try it for 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Hey, try it for 5 minutes. So you get the kids, go out there, start fishing. Next thing you know, it's time to go home. Why? Because of how long it takes to go out there, get ready, and actually fish. And once you start fishing, you start tending to like it, And it will take a lot of time, which means that's a lot of time away from the wrong path. And a lot of that time put into the right path. Which is why I believe fishing helps kids nowadays with their bad choices and going the wrong way and putting all that time into the right way. And also, like I was talking about, being addicted to it, drugs are really addicting. But to me, fishing is like a drug. You get addicted to it. And would you rather have your kid be addicted to drugs or be addicted to fishing? Fishing, of course. you might not believe me if you've never tried fishing, or if you have, maybe you had a bad experience. But if you go out there and you teach these kids how fun it is, or you teach them the proper way to where they actually start catching more than one a day or more than two a day, you start getting addicted to it. It's like drugs. You get high once, it's okay. You get high again and again and again, and you just start getting addicted to it. So fishing is the same way. You go out there, you catch one fish the first day. Okay, cool. Well, you want to see if you want to catch some more. So you go out there a second day, maybe you catch 4 this time. And then you start noticing, well, I'm starting to do pretty good. So you go out there and out there and out there, trying to catch 20 a day. So you start getting addicted to this. The way I tie it in with drugs, it's better to get addicted to fishing than get addicted to drugs. And now, one of the main things of being addicted, kids use all that money into drugs once they're addicted. So if they use that money for drugs because they're addicted, they can use that money for lures, wacky worms, rods, reels, anything of that sort of type. So it's easier to use all that money and use it for your rod and reel than use it for your marijuana, your cocaine. So would you rather have your kid be broke because of the drugs or be broke because of fishing? Well, basically fishing, because fishing is not only fun, but it'll bring you in some food. And drugs are bad, fishing is good. Better to be broke on fishing because you can still get food than be broke off of drugs. And now that you got the kids away from drugs, well, that brings in the family. Now the family's happy. So what does fishing do? It brings people together, you know. You have fun, you invite a friend, they have fun. You invite your cousins, you invite your dad. It doesn't matter who you invite, you bring the family in together. So now you have a happy family away from drugs, having fun. You go out there with your family. It could be your sister, your brother, your mom, your dad. It doesn't matter. Fishing is for everybody. Fishing is for girls, guys, whoever, you know, grandparents. Everybody could fish. So the importance of fishing is you get the family away from the wrong path that we were taking, and you put them together with a family that wants to go the straight way, the one that wants to be happy, and the one that wants to keep that money into fishing instead of other stuff. So everyone can do it, like I said. You could take out your little sister. I have a little sister, and I would love for her to be here with me here in Oklahoma, you know, but of course she lives back home. And but if she was, I would take her fishing, have fun. Doesn't matter if you catch a little perch, big bass, or catfish to go eat. And anytime we go out there, you know, we either go out to the pond, and the best way to bring a family together is actually going to a lake. Because at the lake, you could go out there, fish, you could camp, you could do all other types of activities. But myself, I like fishing out at the lake. You know, I go to Lake Hudson. It's fun. You know, you could go to Keystone. That's fun. And there's many, many lakes here in Oklahoma to go fish. And bring the family together and stay the night or stay the weekend, stay Memorial Day or any holiday, and have fun out there fishing. So to end this, I would like to say fishing can be fun. Fishing can stay people out of the wrong way, and fishing can bring the family together to have a peaceful time, a happy time, and a playful time, you know. Make fun of each other for catching a little fish or being surprised by each other for having a big fish. It doesn't matter what you do. Fishing is fun. Fishing can help those that need the help. And yes, fishing is addicting, and you might waste a lot of money like I have trying to get the best stuff you can get out there. But overall, fishing will help, and fishing is fun. So maybe someday you and I could go out there, have a good time, joke with each other, spend the weekend at any lake, or even spend half a day at the pond with each other, having a fun time. So appreciate you guys watching, and have a good night.